Hello guys, this is Donald's Movies and welcome to the 7th video in the Races of Azeroth series. In this one, I will be talking about the Satyr. Now, many of you know them as the corrupted Night Elves, which is a part of it, but there is a lot more depth to it. Now, I personally think that they're one of the most evil races on the world of Azeroth and also one of the unluckiest ones as well, so without further ado, let's just get into their lore. The entire Satyr thing starts with the War of the Ancients and the loyal advisor of Queen Ashara, Xavius. Now, Xavius was given a really important task in connecting Azeroth to the Twisting Nether, and that way the Burning Legion could get in and target us. Luckily for the world and for us, he failed. And for this, his spirit was tortured by Sargeras himself. But just before Sargeras wanted to dismiss him, get rid of him, he realized that he could still be of use. He created a new body for him, much more powerful than his previous Night Elven body, and this new one kinda resembled a Night Elf, but also had horns, was taller, had sharp claws, and it had increased speed and reflexes, so it was much better than the previous one. And the most important feature Xavius was given was that he had the ability to transform any Night Elf into a Satyr, and unsurprisingly, a pretty good amount of them joined him, mainly the Highborn that were already power hungry. He was also given an important task by Sargeras, and that was to bring the one responsible for the destruction of the portal, Malfurion Stormrage. However, Xavius failed and was killed by Malfurion and Chandris. His death was a huge blow to the other Satyrs, but that didn't really stop them. They quickly started organizing and getting more and more powerful, just leading to the War of the Satyr not too long after War of the Ancients, only 2,000 or 3,000 years. The Satyr, together with some remaining demon forces, waged war on the Night Elves, and the Night Elves, with the help of the initial Worgen, the druids of the site, managed to defeat them, and the loss didn't really come that easily to the Satyr. I mean, their entire organization was destroyed in their numbers, and they were just forced to live in these small sects scattered all across the world, and their state really hasn't improved that much since then. They were pretty quiet for the next 1,000 years, only secretly trying to corrupt and poison the lands, but they didn't really do anything significant until the Third War. Now, when the Burning Legion started the second invasion, they of course answered the call, but their organization wasn't completely firm. First we have seen them guarding the powers of the corrupted well that the orcs drank from, then we have seen them trying to stop Terende from waking the druids, and later on trying to stop Malfurion, and lastly we have seen them trying to stop Illidan from destroying the skull of Gul'dan, which was the reason Felwood was corrupted, and all of their attempts failed and they were completely destroyed and killed. However, a portion of them did actually join Illidan, betraying the Burning Legion. Most of the Satyr under the command of Illidan were killed, but there were a few rare cases of them on Outland, still serving under Illidan's command. But apart from those ones that survived, most of them were destroyed, and the second Burning Legion invasion definitely didn't bring them any prosperity, instead just leading them to almost complete extinction. At the time of World of Warcraft, about 5 years after the second Burning Legion invasion, the Satyr could still be found, but in very small numbers and usually scattered into these small sects, mainly in the upper part of Kalimdor, more specifically the Felwood area and the entire corrupted part of the forests. Their main goal is to pretty much corrupt the land and pave the way for another Burning Legion invasion, and most of them are pretty much ready to answer the call again if the Burning Legion was to come. Currently, their biggest enemies are the Night Elves, even though they aren't exactly friendly to all of the other races, because since the forming of the new horde in the Alliance, their numbers really took a hit, and a lot of people would even wonder how is it possible that they're still out there, and the reason for that is there are two actually big reasons. First one is that they're immortal. I mean, that doesn't mean they can't be killed if someone attacks them, but it just means they can't die of old age. Plus, they're also considered a demon, so the entire Twisting Nether thing could also come into play. And the second one is that they have the ability to create new Satyr. It is speculated that they do it through those corrupted moon wells just filled with dark energies. And the Night Elves are not really the only ones that can join. I mean, we have rare cases of High Elf Satyrs, and also from pretty much all of the other races like orcs, humans or whatever, as it is considered that almost all races can be turned into a form of a Satyr. currently you can find them in groups, mostly in just these hidden places that not many people would really wander off to, and they also inhabit these old Night Elven ruins, but they're usually in very secluded and hidden areas. Now their settlements are very crude and they consist of basic things such as tents and fire pits and some like basic wooden walls, nothing really too advanced. In most of their camps you can also find like these sacrifice altars or corrupted moonwells, but don't be fooled by the simplicity of their camps, because taking on a Satyr settlement or an encampment is quite a big task and usually requires a large, well-equipped military. Now, since their numbers are quite weak, I mean they're almost near extinction, most of them are rogues and warlocks and they prefer to attack their enemies from the shadows, as they don't really have like a concept of honor and they do pretty much whatever it takes in order to defeat their enemy. Now the Satyr are also very sadistic and would rather torture their enemy instead of killing them, which is why they prefer these tactics of like ensnaring and capturing their enemies and then like slowly killing them for days instead of just like ending their lives. At the moment their future isn't very bright, but they still do get more members, mainly from those who are interested into dark magics and want to become more powerful, even if that means that they have to lose their former selves. Alright, and that's all I have for this video. Now do suggest more races you would like to see covered, and also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel and keeps all the videos going. And thanks a lot for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and see you next time.